Hi, welcome to chapter 3. We have our SOAP message stub. We've created our glide Ajax callable script include. And what's left right now is to choose ourselves a form in ServiceNow, create some client script, JavaScript, and use our prepared backend objects to make calls to Nolio and launch them. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that in this short video. So back into ServiceNow. You can choose any of the modules here really to personalize. The one that I've used in my example is under change management. So if we go into the change management module, I'm going to just grab a view of all the change requests that are in the system right now. Let's take a look at this change number 23. The change request form has change tasks linked to it. I want to personalize a change task and tie that to a zero-touch deployment process. So we're looking at a change task form. As a system administrator, you can personalize everything on this form. So anything from the way that the form looks to the business rules that I've talked about to policies, which are what is protected and what isn't and other stuff. Today we're going to be talking about client scripts, but first of all I want to show you a little bit of a form layout customization that I created on this form specifically for our call to Nolio example. So I've added a field which is a checkbox here. I've added some JavaScript to make this field active on the screen. Once you select this, you can type in information from Nolio here. The Nolio application will be Nolio Financial application. The process that we're going to use is called the deploy NFA process. The environment is staging. For those of you that were on the webinar, this is the same example that I used on there. The Nolio username, super user, the password is none of your business. I'm just kidding. Password is for everyone that knows the super user password. And last but not least, I want to have my call out to Nolio react when anyone chooses, with the right permissions, of course, start deployment. So my client script is going to happen when this start deployment is selected. Now let's go into the client script and take a look. So just go into personalize, client scripts. You have to leave the page, which is of course okay, and you can see again you can create a new script. Just click new. I've created one. It's called execute zero touch deployment on state change. There it is. It's active. It works on the change task table, and the type is on change, meaning it looks for changes in that change task table. So type on change, active, global, meaning you can call it from anywhere in the system. You may want to change that. You can inherit it. You can choose which field you're working on. The field we're working on is state, and you can see it's created. ServiceNow has created the unchanged function for me. I have an old value and a new value. You have to go in and look at the values to get the name. So the first thing that I'm doing is I want to see whether the new value is 10. 10 is the value for deployment started, or start deployment, I'm sorry. So if it is, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm checking whether that Nolio, the checkbox, whether it's active. If it's not active, we will quit. If it is active and we've changed, I'm going to get the value from the form. This is the request number. I want to pass that on to Nolio so that in the chapter when we talk about calling ServiceNow back, you need some sort of a reference back to ServiceNow. So over here I'm preparing that. I'm getting the value for the change number to send to Nolio, and I'm getting the values from the form, the Nolio application, the environment, the process, the user, and the password, checking that they're all not empty, just doing some very basic checks. Of course, if you implement this in a real life environment, you may want to do some more comprehensive testing on here. I'm setting the value to the old one in case that it's not so. I don't want to keep the form with started. And if everything else is okay, here we go. create the new glide Ajax Nolio ZTD. Remember I told you the name needs to be the same, so this is where you get that object in your hands, and now you have a server-side object. I'm setting the parameters for that object, the sysparm name, the object of the name, the application, the environment, and basically say get XML here, giving it a parse back information which gets the response. Okay. Again, if you wanna dive deep into this object reference way of calling glide Ajax, just type glide Ajax on Google and take a look at the wiki in ServiceNow. So what we have is we have a piece of JavaScript that reacts to the change of the state button on the change task table from a client script. And if we go back here, I just want to show you this on the change table itself, just to remind you what it looks like from the user interface. Back again, back again. Here we are. The change task table. We're checking that Nolio is active. We're checking, if any of this was empty, it would be empty. Of course, I didn't save it before. And our trigger, our JavaScript starts when start deployment starts, which is 10. By the way, if you wanted to know how we got that to 10, you right-click on this, get personalize the choices list, and you'll see the value there. So this is how I knew in my JavaScript. And really that's it. You now have a change task customization. You could do this on any one of the forms in the ServiceNow platform, and you have a server-side callable object which uses your SOAP message stub to run Nolio processes from ServiceNow, and we've completed the mission of making outbound calls from ServiceNow to Nolio. Of course, there are other methods that you can call, and you can make this a lot more sophisticated. You can get, a lot of information from Nolio before you run the scripts. But the object of these three small chapters was just to show you how to make those outbound calls. The next 3 chapters are going to be about making inbound calls from Nolio to ServiceNow and updating elements within ServiceNow. I hope you join me, and I hope you found this part useful.